Good evening. Are you all awake? Okay, this is the session where we have 4 top performing agents who are going to share all their secrets with us and also help us become millionaires like them, okay? Let me invite the first person. From CBD Properties, Dato Adrian Wong. From Hartamas Real Estate, Mr. Eric Lim. From Kozin Real Estate, Sarawak, Mr. MAREC'16. And from Property Hub, Mr. Wan Choi Heng. Please take a seat. This is mine. So before we get started, I'm going to give the 4 participants about a minute just to introduce yourselves and give a brief about yourself. Maybe we can start with Dato Adrian.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Adrian. Even a lot of people say I'm 20 over. Actually, I'm actually more than 40 years old. I'm in this industry for about 14 years already. Previously, I was a civil engineer. It made a big change for myself from a professional engineer to a salesperson. Basically, first of all, this kind of program is very good transformation. We need a transform. Otherwise, from the professional agent, it's very, very difficult to become a salesperson. I established CBD property in year 2007. After a year, the recession come again, something like now. But anyhow, your mindset is very important. Today, CBD property has about 300 over negotiators and 12 branches all over Malaysia. And we also have an overseas affiliation in China, Singapore, Australia, and recently we just opened one more in Cambodia. Thank you.
Thank you. Alex, you'd like to give us a brief?
My name is MAREC'16. I'm the Managing Director of Kozin Real Estate. We're based in Kuching. Like Dato here, I'm also an engineer for many years. And I started this Kozin Real Estate about 8 years ago. And today we have just over 40 RENs. There are 2 partners, 2 REAs, my partner and myself. I started off on the opposite direction that what Colin has recommended yesterday. Colin suggested that we all start as a creator and we end as an investor. But for me, I started as an investor more than 30 years ago. And and from my experience in purchase of land and properties, this has led me to the setting up of Kozin Real Estate. I want to acknowledge here the terrific contribution from 2 of my very senior people who are present here today. That's Vivian Sim. Vivian, can you stand up? And also Shelley Yo, 2 of my top people. Yeah. Thank you.
Eric?
Hi, hello. Yeah, I'm Eric Lim, MD of Hartamas. Yes, I've been in this industry for the past 20 years. Before that, I was in the publishing. And then I went to this stockbroking. And finally, I landed in this real estate. All right. So we have we have been marketing, we're having these offices, our HQ in PJ, and having branches in the KD, Kota Damansara, Shah Alam, and OUG, right? And we have about over 200 staff, and we handle all aspects of the properties, ranging from secondary, project marketing, international properties, and corporate real estate.
Wan?
Hi, my name is Wan Choi Heng, and I have been a real estate agent since 1994. So, and now I am a director of Property Hub, Sdn Bhd, and we have got 3 offices, one in Mont Kiara, one in KLCC, and one in Kota Kinabalu, and with a total headcount of about 120 people. As all this while, we have been residential-based agents, and we will continue to be. We are actually starting to venture into property project sales, and also gradually moving into commercial sectors. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen. I think what most of the participants here will be interested to know would be how you guys achieved your success. Okay? What was your secret? How come you guys can make millions of ringgit and the others don't make so much, right? So I'm going to give you, I've got 5 questions. So my first question is this. While you started your businesses, you could say there were many factors that helped you achieve your success, right? Maybe support from your family, your strong desire and your perseverance, and so forth. But what we want to know, what would you consider, Adrian first, right? The single most important factor that has helped you achieve your success?
I would say the factors is the when I established my the company CBD Properties, we decided to train people, to develop people. While developing people, we are selling properties. So basically, selling property is just a product, a media to get our daily needs. The key thing is to develop. So we always share our vision and the mission to our people to transform their life. So for example, my mission, our CBD, the mission, we are changing. When we set the mission 9 years ago, and today our mission have actually upgraded. Today our mission is to connect the world through real estate. It means to connect to the real estate, to the latest IT, the relationship networking to the world, and also establish a business, borderless business setting in the this real estate industry. And then I also share with them our mission in our meeting. Our missions, CBD, C stands for creating business opportunity. B stands for building dynamic partnership. And the D stands for developing a brand for real estate. So we always keep on telling them our vision and missions. So that is how I did it.
So to put it in a nutshell, would I be right to say that your success is because you also helped build the people who worked with you, helped develop them as well?
Yeah.
Yeah?
In this, the three guys actually, I always think of them is they come in, they actually are bankruptcy. They were bankruptcy. So I personally coach them and transform them into the millionaire.
Okay, great. Thank you. Alex, could you just brief us on what you would consider the single most important factor in building your business success?
Well, I think when I was young, I was quite daring. And I think I want to encourage all my people to be daring and to take the plunge, because I was earning a few $1,000s when I was 27 years old, and I resigned. In those days, a few $1,000s is equivalent to maybe $30,000 today. And I resigned and came out and set up my own business. And I bought my first property when I was 27. And I see that over my life, there are many, many properties that are available for sale that I look at it as an opportunity to make money. But out of every 100 people, I think there's only probably one person who look at it as an opportunity. The other 99 will say that, no, it's not possible. You buy that property, you're going to lose money. So I think from that, I've been able to share my experiences with many of my buyers. And I think that way we are able to develop our business a lot. Secondly, I feel very, very happy when I see my staff doing well. Many of my former staff, I've employed more than a few hundred people in my life. Many, many of them are already big bosses, chairman of the council, it's my former staff, and quite a lot of people, my former staff are now bosses. And, it's very nice to see them as, they are my friends, and we always joke together when we meet them. And so I want to develop my staff to be bosses, and I'm so happy to see them being successful. Yeah. And I always feel that whatever knowledge that I have, there is not enough time to share those knowledge with the people who are helping me, who are working with me. Yes. So I just wish that that I could even share and more with them. Yeah. Thank you.
So to put it in a nutshell, your early successes with property investments was what inspired you to actually set up your agency and also share your experiences with the people who worked with you. Am I right to say this? Yeah.
Many of my clients will buy because they believe in me, and if I tell them that this is a good product to invest in, and they believe it. So I think this is something that was brought up earlier by one of the speakers, I think. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Eric?
Well, I won't say I'm very successful. There's so many on the floors here I'm more successful. Well, I think unlike other business, real estate is the people business, right? And I think we have a good team of managers, management staff, team managers, team leaders, backroom staff, and also our team of negotiators. They are our core team, and they are the people behind the success of our firm, right? They've been with us for many, many years. Some are even since the day we started, right? So they are very supportive. And of course, my other partners is also my wife. She has been very supportive, and she's a key person who lies with our people, right? Interacting with our staff, supporting them, sharing them with them, the success, the deals, the disappointment, right? So I think to us, the key factors is the people behind us.
So would you consider or would you say that your wife was the single most important factor in your success?
I would say I can say so.
Yeah.
She'll be instrumental in helping me up.
Big round of applause for Mrs. Lim. One, you want to tell us yours?
Yes. I wouldn't want to talk so much about my success because I wouldn't have achieved anything substantial if without the support from the company, actually. Yeah. So if there is the single most important factor that contribute to our company success, I would say it is definitely the team spirit. Because this culture of togetherness and inclusiveness among the team members in our company, actually is the single, I see is definitely the single most important factors for Property Hub's business success. This support by the team to the management actually assure the management give the assurance to the management to actually develop a very conducive working culture, and also to the tendency to improve it along the way to bring us to who we are today. And in Property Hub, actually, every one of us play a very important role. we treat everyone in the company like a family. And we seldom see family members actually do real bad things to each other. So that's how we see we come all so far. And of course, as the family grow bigger, they bound to have a little occasional bickerings, and that's about all. And for this success, we credit it to our founding partners, Madam Patricia, Mr. Christopher Lim, and Mr. Benjamin T, for their wisdom and for their earlier wisdom and insistence in inculcating these family values into the organization. Thank you.
Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, what you can take away from this is that if you want to be successful, and if you want to build your team or your company into a successful company like these four gentlemen, you would actually need the support of your people who work with you. I think that is what we can take away from all of them. That it has to be team spirit. It has to be a system of sharing. Yeah. Okay, now we move on to the next question. I'll start with Alex, right? When you started your agency, did you plan to grow your agency to its current size? And can you also just elaborate what your initial business plans were?
As a young man, I had 6 years in New Zealand going through my training as an engineer. I've always admired the way that some of the Western companies are able to develop and sustain for 100 years or more. I think many Japanese companies are the same. So I aspire to the day that I can have a company which will live beyond me. And that is something that is, I'm
You
of course,
aspire
right
for.
now, training my next generation and to follow, So, and but I think I always try to inculcate in my people the sense of ethics. Very important to have ethics and being professional in your dealings. And again, I also share with all of you here that the importance of team spirit. I always try and tell each one of them that whatever actions that you do is going to affect the life of all the other 40 RENs and their families. So if you do well, if you project the company well, the other 40 RENs in the company will also do well. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let me phrase this question a little bit differently for Eric, okay? Eric, when you started, how many negotiators did you have? And how many do you have now?
Well, I started very small, a small office, about 800 square feet, having about 4 negotiators.
4 negotiators.
Yes, and currently we have almost more than 200. Well, I don't have a structured plan, but our basic plan is to cover every segment of the real estate practice. So we started as the agency practice, and we are quite established. We move on to the next sector is the corporate real estate. We realized that those are big boys. They have a very, I call this team to cater all the corporate needs. And thereafter, we move on to project marketing. We see that the developers need the services, and we move on to the project marketing. And finally, we went on to the international properties, handling London properties and Australia. So we see, besides the real estate, we move further on. We see, instead of doing the real estate practice, we move on to cover property management, valuation, and also training academy, right? So I think we feel that, our staff, I always tell my staff, when they join our firms, we want them to grow, right? And I think for them to grow, we need to grow further. And I think that's how we push ourselves, we work harder, so that they grow the company.
Okay, thanks. One, you want to tell us how the company started and where you all are at now?
Yes, Property Hub. When we first started, we just wanted to be a local champion and wanted to shine like a beacon, be a lighthouse in the local community that we are serving the communities. But as we grow, as the firm grow, we realize that everyone has a potential to grow and also has a potential to become a leader. So from there, we started to have the vision to actually help to develop our ranks to become the industrial leader. So from then on, we developed and put together our own education and training program to try to achieve that vision. And ever since we started our training and education program, Property Hub started grow gradually. And from growing gradually, we also start to learn and improve from others, more successful model, more successful agency that in the market. And gradually, we are still learning now, and we are still learning.
Okay, thanks. And Dato Adrian, maybe you can tell us how many negotiators you started off with and how many you have now?
Actually, we started with two person.
Two persons.
But in fact, before I started also actually make a big decision to start this company, because before that, I also working with Eric, and then after that, working with Clement Megahata. So the time I saw so many big agencies in the market, so shall I take the brand to rise on the brand, or I decided to form our own agency, create our own brand. So somehow rather there is one friend, Wendy from MN Realty. She know me from Ara Damansara, so she said, Adrian, I know you, I can see you to be can do it, can make it. So she gave me a very good courage to encourage me to open an agency. So when we open, start with two person, then after that I get my wife to join in as doing on the admin part. And then follow that, because I practice as a civil engineer, always system quality and safety in my mind. So when come to this, I also bring the idea. I start to spend about 3 months to come up with my SOP, the Standard Operation Program, and also the handbook manual to how I want to run this company. I started the organization chart, all these things, so it make it very clear, so where we want to be. So from there, we move on, start to do recruitment, and thank you, there are a lot of developers to support me to give me the job to start on. So from there, we grow from 2 to 4, then 10, all the way. Then after that, I partnership with Stewardship. Stewardship is the previously owned the estate agency called Stewardship Realty. So we come in and then we discuss why not we join force, we merge, and we come into the CBD families, so we can work things even better, leverage on each other as well.
So how many negotiators do you have today?
350 around, 350, over 12 branches.
Okay, good for you. Thank you. Okay, next question. We'll start with Eric Lim. Right? Today, more and more developers are engaging the services of real estate companies to sell their projects, right? So my question is, over the last, say, 2 years, do you all generate more income from the secondary market or the primary market?
In fact, in Hartamas, we have quite a balanced contribution or balanced portfolio. Right. Besides the secondary, we are also very active in project marketing and also in corporate real estate and international properties. So in terms of revenue, I would say about 40% came from the project marketing, 30% from the corporate from this agency, 20% from corporate real estate, and 10% from international properties. So we have a quite balanced portfolio. And also this one just to cover in case the market downturn, well, there are other segments to support and contribute to our revenue.
Okay. One.
Well, Property Hub, we started with very focused. We wanted to be a lighthouse agency in a community. So naturally, our fundamentals are grounded towards secondary markets. So there is 75%, about 75% of our revenues actually comes from the secondary market. And yes, we see the money in project sales, project marketing. So we are working on expanding that segment in the near future.
Thank you. Dr. Adrian? Project marketing, I mean, secondary sales or primary sales? Which would you say generates more?
But sometimes it all depends on timing. When started with the core business is a project marketing. So the project marketing basically bringing more revenue. But all depends on last few months, it seems that the sub-sale is getting better than project marketing. So, but anyhow, the project marketing, we need more teamwork compared to the sub-sale, more strategy, more planning, and more responsibility to the developer. Then moving forward, I will see we're also doing a lot of the overseas project marketing. The one also quite a good lucrative revenue for the company.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next question, right? Start with one. Huh? What are your companies? What is Property Hub's goals? Oh, sorry, Alex. My apologies. My apologies. Sorry, I lost track.
Don't worry.
Secondary or primary? My apologies.
About 80 to 85% of our business is from the primary market. So about 15 from the secondary market. Out of the 85%, around 35% is from Australian properties. Yeah, we specialize on Perth, Melbourne, and we're beginning to sell Brisbane properties. Then the balance is all primary market, mainly from developers in Kuching. Actually, our people go around holding roadshows, marketing the local properties in Sarawak, in the various towns in Sarawak. But for the Australian properties, we actually go around the whole of East Malaysia, Brunei, as well as West Malaysia. Yeah, we're holding roadshows on the circuit. Yeah, yes.
Are you marketing KL properties in Sarawak?
Yes, we also market KL and Johor properties in Kuching, in Sarawak. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Next question. Start with one, right? What would your goals and objectives be for the next 5 years? What are your plans?
We have opened 2 branch offices in the last 6 months. So therefore, we are not looking too far ahead for the time being. Instead, we actually lay out our annual targets to achieve, and also a 3 years review period to check our progress and achievement. So at the same time, immediately on our action plan is to stabilize and to strengthen our existing 3 offices, and also to ensure that our company, the working culture, and also the performance are being achieved. So this is what we are doing and we set out to do at the moment. And at the same time, meantime, for the following years and for the following 3 years actually, we try to develop we try to actually to identify and inspire and develop more leaders among our existing rank so that they can become the anchor for our expansions of the brands. So and this is what we actually decided to lay out to work toward this following 3 years to bring us through here from.
Okay, thanks. Dr. Adrian, your plans for the next 5 years?
First of all, I wish to develop more millionaire agents to bring up the negotiators, bring up the leaders and our business partner, so that I wish them all can become an independent business unit. So when all this form, you create a value to the company. And automatically when value comes, the money will come as well. So my aim is to create a value, the valuable company. So the value that I mentioned is not about the biggest agency in Malaysia or the most agents in Malaysia. It's about value. How to determine the value? It has to be determined and confirmed by the third party, by people who are dealing with us, by our negotiators, by anybody who knows CBD. That is very, very important. So hope that one day we become an international company. Outside, they like our brands, especially we target into ASEAN first. So like our brand, they can work together with us. Thank you.
Okay. Alex?
I hope that we can either set up offices in Kuala Lumpur or maybe join to international firm. Yeah, of course, I'm hoping that I have more partners coming in, that we can grow in size. But also, above all, I believe our shortcoming is in training. So I do want to emphasize more, to give more training to our people. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Eric?
I think locally, we still have not covered most of the major cities. So our next step probably will cover more on the major cities in Malaysia. But going forward, we probably want to move abroad. We'll be marketing a lot of properties, Malaysian properties into China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Singapore, and so bringing product from London and Australia. So the best move probably we might look into those, having offices in those cities where we are active.
Okay, great. Ladies and gentlemen, I know it's already 5:30, so I've just got one more question and then we'll be done, okay? Okay, this is $1 million question, all right? We will start with Dr. Adrian, right? What would you consider the 3 biggest challenges that the Malaysian property market will face in the next 3 years?
This is a good question. Anybody like challenges here? Raise your hand. Yes, you see, so many people like challenges. So do I. I like challenges. So when overcome the challenge, it's become a goal achievement for me. But having said that, I think over this, the next 3 years, the challenge that I think yesterday and today, a lot of situation speakers were talking about that, about the challenge of the economy, that which cannot be helped. But again, I adopted Mr. Siwa yesterday, the lalang concept. So if you not good, we can swing either left, right, we can swing. But I will say maybe I want to become a hybrid lalang. Like a Poland, we can fly. We can go to fly anywhere. There's a land is good. Land there, we grow. Okay, the world is very huge. We can't challenge. We don't challenge. We just follow. So the second part will be along the way. I believe people who are actually come to my bus. I'm a coach. Come onto the bus. Along the journey, some people come and some people drop. Then this is the rules of the game, and then this is a life. So we can't hold everyone to be until the final destination. The third challenging is I hope to find more the Zen Y. This is a challenge in the company, the Zen Y partnership, a talented partnership into our organization. I'm Zen X. In my organization, we have a few baby boomer partnership, so we wish to see more Zen Y coming in.
Okay. Alex, what do you think would be your 3 biggest challenges over the next 3 years?
I think I think political stability to our country is very important. If this current political situation does not improve, then maybe our property market will be affected for a little while until hopefully the 2018 election will then decide the way forward. Hopefully, whichever party wins, the political situation will settle down. And I think, therefore, this year and next year, there will be opportunities for investors. And I believe that this is something that I'm going to share with my purchasers, my clients. The next thing is, I think, the Bank Negara. Bank Negara has actually asked the banks, advising them for prudent lending. And I think as a result, this has unnecessarily affected the property market. I believe that many people still want to buy houses. They just cannot afford the initial 10% to 30% deposit. And I believe that maybe government should look at, or even developers should look at zero entry, because they can afford to pay the installment payments. Many people are being retrenched in the oil and gas industry, but that is again cyclical. Oil prices already started to recover. You heard yesterday from the economists that $30 is not sustainable, and therefore going forward, I think the oil price will go up, and therefore our budget will improve. This recalibration tool will not be necessary. If there's recalibration tool, hopefully it will be recalibration upwards, back to the original budget. And so I believe that maybe that will not be a challenge, but it will be something in our favor. And there are encouraging signs talking about allowing developers to reintroduce the DIBS system, DIBS scheme. And I hope the government will agree with that, because that will definitely help the market. Yes, thank you.
I think the DIBS is only for first-time house buyers, right? Yeah, I think if that comes in, it definitely will help. Eric, what are your thoughts on the three challenges?
In terms of challenges, I'm not too concerned about internal challenges, but more so on external. I think, as echo mentioned by Alex, I think the mortgage or property lending is quite one of the main criteria into our real estate or the property market. With the issue of the household debt is so high, 87%, and with the government so worried about international rating, downgrade our bond, our currency, Bank Negara will be very, very concerned about this borrowing. So any measures, or fiscal measures, would affect the real estate market, right? So some days where I think I would foresee any near term that the government will relax. Next, I think is the political issues. I think it's quite worrying. And especially the elections coming 2018. So next 2 years, I think, locally maybe you might be immune for external factors, as they will be very concerned what happened with our political scene. But the next, I think the most worrying is in the business-wise, I think it's margin compression, the business margin. I think due to also applicable budgets, non-compliance of the real estate practitioner, they are operating different concepts like MLM, they are engaging more than what they require to, and with the demand of this negotiator, they are playing beyond the norms, paying 80-90%, and they are giving to all the negotiated demands. As a result, margin variety. So I don't know how this will carry on, right? So I appeal to all practitioners and firms to be firm on this basis. If you give in to all negotiated demands, margin at the right time. I believe in doing business, we need probably a 30% margin, and throwing out probably 30% of operation costs. You need 10% to maintain or to be reward you as the entrepreneur risk. If not, I don't think it's worth to involve in this basic practice.
One.
Yes. Challenges actually exist, whether in a good time or bad time, or whether next year or next three years, they always be there. They always some challenges come along. So therefore, in Property Hub, we try not to focus too much on the challenges because we don't want to be distracted too much from our original plan that we set out to execute. But having said that, our management team always constantly being mindful of number one, we constantly try to endeavor to increase the per capita income of our rent. Even in the challenging time like this or normal time, we try to endeavor to increase our rent income because we envisage that our rent will be the shining representation when our country achieve this high income society status comes 2020. That's we are constantly being mindful of this matter. And secondly, as we grow, we are also constantly being mindful that to ensure our new leadership in our expansion, in the course of our expansion, to ensure it reflects our original core value of Property Hub when it was started. And lastly, as we grow, we also constantly be mindful that we want to grow slowly and steadily, so that the stability of within our organization will be maintained throughout the growing process. We believe if we have done everything right, challenges are no obstacles actually, and they are just part of the journey in any business venture. We just have to find a way to get over it as it comes and be chill about it.
So basically, you want to maintain a very positive stand on this, right? Okay, we wanted to open up 3 more questions to the floor, but I think we are running late, and so I will need to cut short. So I think with that, maybe we just give a round of applause to all the participants, and I'm happy to
Thank you, panelists and moderator, Nixon Paul. It's my privilege to call upon Eric, co-president of MIA, to hand over the token of appreciation. Do you have a group photographs? and gentlemen, we really appreciate your patience. You guys have been here with us, and we really appreciate the patience to be with us until this end. So we're going to have a closing remark and the lucky draw. So please stay back for the lucky draw. It's my pleasure now to invite the organizing chair, Lady Amanda Goh, to officially close this event.
Hello, champions. Wow, how time flies, and we're coming to the close of MAREC'16, and I'm actually a little bit sad. I hope that you all have had an enjoyable learning experience. I hope the speakers have put a lot of money in your pockets, and that you're able to implement what you've learned over the next few days to take your business to the next level. And I also hope that when you leave this place, you leave as a charged up powerhouse, and you be a positive influence to your co-agents and colleagues out there. If MAREC'16 has impacted you positively, we want to hear about it. And if you think that there's still plenty of room for improvement, we also want to know about it. So please help us complete the evaluation form and pass it to the MIA booth on your way out, and you'll get a tumbler for free, sponsored by The Edge. Now I would like to express my gratitude to a few parties. Of course, first I'd like to thank God for making MAREC'16 possible without any major disasters. Next, I want to thank MIA. About 4 years ago, it was my first time being the MC at MAREC'12. 4 years later, I organized MAREC'16, and now I'm about to close the convention. It never crossed my mind that I would be able to do this. So I want to thank MIA for the opportunity to grow. So for all of you who wants to discover what you can do beyond your limits, MIA is the best platform. You'll be able to pick up new skills while you are serving for a greater cause outside the mundane selling and renting work that you do as an estate agent. There's actually a green form in your program book that says all you need is a desire to influence, impact, and inspire. So if that sounds like you, please fill in the form and return it to the MIA booth. We'll contact you. We need good, selfless people to drive the industry forward. We are behind countries like Singapore, Australia, and America, and hence there's plenty of room for improvement. So I call out to leaders who wants to bring their leadership, extend their leadership outside, beyond their agency to the industry. It's like the next level of leadership. I think enough on volunteerism. Once again, a big thank you to all our distinguished speakers who have shared their knowledge and expertise, and also a huge thank you to our generous sponsors. And tremendous thanks to my organizing team, especially Nani and Wai-Ling from the Secretariat. And I also want to thank MIAU, Rafael, Billy, Fern, and Jasper. Thank you for stepping up. Please give them a round of applause. And I would like to thank one more person. He has done a great job and kept you entertained over the last 2 days. He has generously sacrificed his time when he didn't need to, and he's none other than our MC, Mr. Stephen Cornelius. I'd like to invite him to stage for the meeting of the organization. finally, I want to thank all of you for making MAREC'16 a success and a wonderful experience. With this, I declare MAREC